which is called. Second is programmatic integration. So normally what happens if whenever we talk about digital screens at different out of home locations, anything different, anything unusual happens on a screen is in general out of home prospect is called programmatic, but it's not programmatic always. There's so many things which somewhere relates to the dynamic content part. So let's moving from the next point. Because before moving to the feature of dynamic content and programmatic integration, let's see what is DOH is all about. Where what is the spread? What is current scenarios of DOH in India? So few of the DOH pictures that I could collect for you. Maybe I'm sure you have been seen these kind of screens at different locations while visiting to your destinations in day-to-day life, while going to coffee shops, shopping malls, outdoor, airport, different locations. Even there are some grocery stores, kind of. So many locations. Digital screens are already available. The classic is ATM machines. It's always a digital screens, right? So these are different formats of digital which are available. If you see this ecosystem, currently as per the universe, we talk about around 1.5 lakhs screens which is available in India. It is not India's universe, it is the database that we have. India universe is much more higher than. And out of 1.5 of database that we have today, is 1.1 is mapped and around 40,000 are connected. They are placed across 31 different touchpoints, like you can see in some different icons. 1,800 cities around in India are covered, and average daily reach, from reach point of view, average daily it caters to 30 million audience in terms of daily targeting. So talking the first feature of dynamic contents are, so most of the things you'll definitely correlate this with these kind of features are always available on digital when we activate any mobile campaign. But somehow when we talk about outdoor, especially out of home locations, so these kind of features are not very friendly so far. But yes, using principles of DOH and dynamic contents, we can use this kind of applications like time of the day, time and time, day parting, time of the day of the weeks. These are very common features which which are very friendly in mobile ads, especially if you talk about digital screens which are placed across different touch points like shopping malls or maybe uh, premium societies, corporate parks. We see some screens, so we can play different contents basis different time of the day or different day of the weeks. Location is specific contents are like hyper local contents that we can maybe play for a client who has some retail locations, retail outlets at different locations in India. So basically the location we can trigger content. Trending item is interesting. I'm sure you guys are very friendly with this from mobile ads point of view. But if you talk about out of home, we can this definitely trigger trending item content features like whenever example recently we were discussing some communications for Flipkart. So they were just their target was they wanted to bring the same kind of capability that is available on their Flipkart app to offline, to on ground. So what we said we can trigger integrate your API with the screens server and bring the same kind of capability offline even. If anybody is working inside cyber city, maybe cyber hub, you can see what are the trending items happening around Flipkart applications. So it doesn't need you to open a Flipkart app at that time point of time, but yes, you can have that kind of experiences. Countdown ticker is something which is very friendly in TV and digital ads, but in out of home we can use this before launch of any specific sell period campaign or during the sale period, like 58 minutes left, 57, 50. These kind of countdown can be integrated with the communication that we push on screens in outdoor spaces. And everything happens in real time. Obviously, it requires IoT. IoT is the ultimate backbone of overall communication that we are going to talk in this presentations. Social media integration is something that we can pull and bring the same kind of capability and experiences which is available online for any client. Suppose a client wants to publish the same communication which is available on their Instagram story. We recently had a discussion with Axis Bank. They said we are pretty active on online with our Instagram and Twitter communications. So, but every time, suppose if my audience is visiting offline, in any spaces, suppose they are visiting in cyber up, so it's not necessary that they'll be available on mobile, but yes, they can definitely experience and view the what is happening around the on online and their pages for the client. Whether specific is very interesting part that we can probably use in contextual ways and sell to a different clients and different situations. Like if in current time, if we're sitting in February and summer is approaching, maybe in next 2 3 months we'll start facing the summer situation. So it's the very right time we should talk to all the clients who have the AC services like Daikin, like Panasonic, Philips, and kind of. So they can publish their communication on out of home using weather API data in real time. So it's not so generally we go to all the out of home spaces and we put some flexes with the common communication. Doesn't matter what the situation is, because flex cannot be changed in real time. What is the beauty of this DOH as a medium is we can play with content. We can play, make it contextual and use it in the situation. What is the situation all about? So in case my temperature is going to be very high, then my AC ads will come. Suppose there's a raining, there's some rains happening, then some umbrella, kind of like anything, something like that will come. In case of very cold situation, so temperature gets down to the below 10 degree and kind of, then water heater and this kind of communication will automatically dynamically will be coming on the screen. So this time we can use the features of weather APIs data integration. Traffic traffic specific data is something, especially in out of home space, like you see some digital screen has been installed in on street, especially in Bombay, Delhi, Bangalore, different locations. So while and streets are, there's two types of behavior on street. You see sometime my traffic is very tight, very slow, it's jam packed. Sometime it's simple, it's flow, it's on flow. So whenever we see a jam packed traffic, so we can use this API, traffic API data. If the traffic is slow, then communication A will come. In case my traffic is smooth and it's going flowing flawless, then communication B with static communication will come up. So we can use communication contextually and dynamically using this traffic data in real time. Audience is something which is like we can publish communication basis the different genders and audience behavior. Suppose if my product is specifically designed for female, so my communication will on screen will only come in case there's some female audience in front of my screen. In case there's a male audience coming in front of the screen or digital billboard, the communication will not come. So somewhere this we can also utilize and use the story of ad control waste types. So this is a very specific. These are kind of some feature. There's more features, but these are the sample features that we can talk about, especially whenever we are talking about digital OS content. So it's a dynamic content. So talking for programmatic integrations, and just in case anybody has any queries, maybe we can talk on slide to slide. No worries. So this is
Puneet,
programmatic and yep.
I have a
Yeah.
query while you
Mhm.
mentioned about traffic signals, right? So on a
Mhm.
real-time basis, you will be able to change the content, right? So how
Correct.
these signals work? Is this mapped via some 3P apps or via Google Maps or
Yes, it will be API integration. So we need to integrate that traffic API using the Google traffic data.
and it will push out the live data?
Live data. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll just take you through the case study that we used API integrations for one of the campaigns. I'll take you through that after that.
Sure. Uh,
Puneet, is there any customized tool or standard tool available to run the digital OS plan campaigns?
There's so many tools available. Even if you talk about programmatic device, like even some screens are available in that way. We can publish and we can control that using DV360 as well. So depend ki what is our requirement, but we can use. So ultimately, what is the objective of this presentation is simply, we always see out of home like a static communication, like one flex across all the locations. But now the good beauty of this medium, this offerings in India, and the screens are always increasing every time. So we can use different communication as per the need, as per the situations. Okay, so shall I move to next? Cool.
Please, yeah.
So So programmatic integration, this specifically, this feature is not specifically for DOH only, digital screens only. This, this can be applied to static OH, static billboards, as well as digital screens. This is nothing less, but it's a kind of omni-channel marketing approach. So the solution is simply to marry the online and offline consumers data and see how the brand can be utilized, leverage the solutions. So, what is the key features that we are getting and offerings that we are getting using this programmatic integration in out of home space? So, one, we are now able to understand my audience, my who is my audience, and what is the overall behavior and demographic of that audience. Second, now we have capability to retarget, to reinforce those OH exposed audiences. These two features have always been a very dark space whenever in historical out of home system we talk about. So so if you see this pictures, it is a self-explanatory picture, like it's a synopsis of whatever we are going to next talk about next 10 12 slides. So this is, suppose this is my billboard, this is a billboard of my client that client has installed. And obviously generally all the billboards are always installed at a very prime locations, premium location, to grab maximum eyeballs. So now what is the solution we have is, suppose hypothetically in front of my billboard, my digital billboard or static billboard, there are 100 people in front of my bill, in front of the communications. And obviously everybody is getting exposed to this communication, this big billboard, giant billboard. But everybody cannot be my right audience, maybe cannot be my TG. So now we have capability by mapping the location and using features of polygons. So one, we can identify all the 100 audience, who are those 100 people, and out of those 100 people, what is the sense their device, and using their understanding and identifying their device IDs, we can tell like how many people out of this overall exposed audience are my TG. And people who are my TG, basis their demographic behavioral data or online, we can retarget to them on their mobile channels and different platforms like in-app, on mobile browser, even on YouTube's. So this is the synopsis, and there's some IB study, like whenever an out of home campaign marries with mobiles into ecosystem, obviously the overall CTR is generally found very high. So in this scenario, you see, we are not targeting people who are behind this and backside to this billboard. We are only figuring targeting to people who are in front of this billboard. So how does this happen? So very technical, and it's graphical impressions. Like suppose we finalize for a campaign, 1 2 3 billboards for the campaign. We'll install our communications on these 3 billboards, and then what happens using DMP supports, we create a view shed right in front of this billboard. Like for this billboard, this is the my view shed. These kind of view sheds are created, and any device IDs, any mobile phones and people who are entering in this view shed will be identified. Their device IDs will be captured. We using and capturing their device ID, we are now able to retarget them. We obviously we are also able to understand like what is their offline visitation after getting exposed to my billboard. Are they visiting to my store, or they are visiting to my competition stores? Like recently we did one campaign for H&M. So we plotted approximately 100 plus billboards across country. And as a result, we identify after getting exposed to my communication, how many people actually visited H&M store and how many people visited competition stores. So this kind of footfall attribution can be measured. Audience insights using different parameters like demographic, behavioral data, app users, location based kind of can be So these are some metrics that can be applied, and some lights which can be thrown out post campaigns. So generally what happens whenever we talk about out of home campaign, our story starts with photograph. We share some photograph of the site, clients gets excited, this photograph looks good, this site looks good, let's finalize it. Once sites get installed, we share some photograph, and post campaign completion we also share photograph. So it means in general out of home campaign, everything is all about photographs. There's not, nobody knows what exactly is happens post photograph, like what is there beyond the photograph story. So these kind of applications are helping us to understand the campaign performance part, which was a dark space earlier. So how do we
Puneet, I have a small question here,
yeah,
where you said that, audiences within that you shed would be given a push on the mobile, and that's how you
correct,
would measure where they have gone, right? So,
correct.
is it only the next store, or is it any store in a particular defined period?
Any store. So it's all about the locations. So we have to, before, obviously, before getting in the campaign setup, we have to get into some preparations. So
Huh.
whatever our target locations, suppose we recently did a campaign for Maruti. So we installed approx 400 billboards. We mapped all 400 billboards before getting into
No,
the
no, I
campaign.
am no. My question, I think I didn't get across
Hmm,
clearly. अभी
hmm,
जैसे ये out of home two जो आपने बताया ना,
right.
second
Hmm,
site. Now this
this
is
one.
supposing your H&M campaign, okay?
Hmm,
And this is outside a mall where there is an H&M store, but there are also other stores.
hmm,
So if your target audience over there sees this,
hmm,
you have sent out a message to him or whatever, ad
hmm,
to him. If he
hmm,
doesn't go to H&M immediately, but he
hmm,
goes to H&M as a third store in his visit to the mall, does that
hmm.
person get counted?
Yes, they will be counted. So we can also tell them like it's not mandate like if after visiting and seeing getting exposed to my communication, you'll instantly go to my store. Maybe you'll go there after 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, or 6 days, or third store. Then you'll also be considered as an audience in that cases.
Acha, okay. So there is some time duration for which you keep it valid.
Yeah,
कि
yeah,
मैंने
yeah.
expose
At
किया
least
तो
7 to 10 days capping is mandatory because we can't
okay,
tell them
okay.
now. It's not mandatory. Like after getting exposed to the billboard, you will instantly will not visit any stores. Right. Suppose you are visiting, you're going to your office and you saw some billboard. Anyways, you'll have to wait for you to visit maybe the store after 2 days, 3 days, or maybe during the weekends.
No,
So
so
at
that is
least.
just viewing a billboard. But when you're talking of this view shed and
Hmm,
retargeting them on their mobile,
hmm.
then also you keep the 7 to 10 day window open.
Yes, yes. 7 to 10 days is at least mandatory.
Okay,
We
okay, cool.
keep. Yeah.
Thanks, thanks.
So audience segmentation. So being an out of home company and out of home division, so our overall story and overall discussion topic starts with location. Hence, this is the first triggers. So we can how do we segment our audience based on different location. So every discussion starts only if my audience is exposed to the billboard. If they are not, if somebody is very relevant to the audience category that we have defined and they have not exposed to any of our billboard, then they will not be retargeted, they will not be communicated anyways. So location is important. Look, basis location we can create audience segmentations. Device types, we can create device segmentations based on different devices. Like if Samsung has launched a fold mobile and they are targeting only Apple users, they said my core TG is people who are using Apple mobile phones. So we can retarget only amongst 100 people. We can identify who are people who are using Apple iPhones. So all the iOS device IDs will be recommunicated. So online, next is online behavior. So basically different communications and behaviors online. They can be which kind of website and apps you visit, so you can be communicated. Offline is simply like offline visitations after getting exposed to billboard and communication online. If are you visiting, what kind of location you are visiting? You are visiting to my store or maybe competition stores. Basis different app uses, demographic, behavioral data. Spends are not very accurate, hence we are not recommending, though this is part of generally DMP offers this, but we have found there's some dilutions in this particular feature, hence we're not recommending. So this is all about audience segmentations. So from out of home point of view, also it's important to understand the audience and performance. So so far we always has share some photographs along, and you have been experienced like whenever you talk about out of home, you will receive some photographs post campaign, pre campaign, and before even along with this campaign's summary. So now along with this photograph story, you also be able to get this kind of stats like what from viewers point of view, what was the share between male and female, what was their age group demographic, what was income group, what was the telco, were they Geo customer, Airtel customer, or maybe Vodafone phone customer. So this is not relevant for all the clients, but clients like Airtel, Geo, or this kind of relevant client, it can be a very essentials. And this is a different device type that we spoke in last slide. So we can also tell them like people who are exposed to your communications and out of home, are they using Apple phones? What was the share between Apple, OnePlus, Lava, Nokia kind of? So this is another feature. And the important part from client's point of view, interest point of view is they can know after getting billboard exposed to the billboard communications, what was the vegetation patterns, like which stores performed better, which store attracted maximum vegetations, like top 4, 5, 10 stores can be highlighted. Even all these stores can be highlighted with the numbers. And this is the timeline left after getting exposed to billboard. What was the timeline they visited my store within 1 to 5 days, within 6 to 7 days, maybe 10 to 11 days, and 15 days kind of. What was the trending time that the maximum vegetation has happened across brand's store? So this kind of metrics will definitely put some different lights, some fruitful lights from client's point of view, interest point of view, whenever we share along with this photograph stories. So this is all about the integration point of view. I'll take you some case study that we have executed recently from dynamic DOOH and programmatic integrations point of view. So talking about dynamic DOH, I'm sure some of you have seen this kind of some of this case study. So this is like, so please confirm you can see this here.
Skoda, simply clever.
So in this campaign, client wanted to say thank you to all their customers, and especially North, because North has been always been very weakest market for Skoda. So they want to highlight thanks communication to their customers. So this, if you saw this video, you will find like whenever there was a Skoda car in front of this screen, the communication was talking about Skoda, like Skoda Octavia was coming. Screen was talking about, hey Octavia, thank you very much for choosing us. Whenever there was no Skoda, It was not showing any SCADA communications. Like everything was happening in real time. So that was India's first vehicle recognition campaign, and we won multiple awards for this. Then again, there's some situations where client says like, we want some digital watch campaigns and we want some experiential campaign, and unfortunately we don't find any screens over there. Then in that situation, we executed a campaign for Nat Geo. I'll take you through this. Again. So simple sensor-based campaign. It was done in collaboration with Isobar, I think in 2017, some around.
Worst in the world,
And
highest level.
I'm sure you've heard like in 2019, the AQI of Gurgaon was extreme high. That situation, and India was Gurgaon was considered as world's most polluted city. So that time we were in discussions. We were just connected with Philips for their air purifier communications, and we installed a campaign. We set up this. I'll just take you through this.
Worst in the world, highest level of pollutants.
साइबर सिटी जो है धुंधली हो गई है, हर तरफ धुआं धुआं सा नजर आ रहा है।
हवा में 2.5 पीएम प्रदूषण पाया गया।
24 सिगरेट एक साथ पीने जैसी हवा इस वक्त गुरुग्राम की बनी हुई है।
मनोहरलाल खट्टर ने गुरुग्राम को दुनिया का सबसे प्रदूषित शहर कहा।
So this was an example of like how we used API integrations. So any kind of other APIs can be integrated same way, like whether like even traffic API that we talked about in last previous slides. So we integrated real-time API data from Suffer's website. Suffer is the common service provider. Basically, they are an agency which has been appointed by government of India to provide updates and insights on AQIs in India. So we integrated their APIs during the campaign, and all the real-time data was utilized in that situation. So different AQI level was showing the different communications on screen. So the programmatic integration that we talked last in our programmatic part. So this is a case study of Grand Vitara that we recently executed during the launch of Grand Vitara campaign. This was for Maruti. So it was around 450 billboards were the big campaign. 450 billboards were installed across different countries or different cities of India, and they were all mapped and the with programmatic part. So this is the crux of this scenario, summary of overall what happened from audience point of view. Total 163 million audience were exposed to billboard across different locations. Out of 163 million people, 8.2 million approximately people who were found unique with device IDs. And out of this unique audience, 2.3 million people were found relevant, means potential as a potential TG basis, the demographic and detailed audience persona that client had created. And after overall, at least we also found the attributed audience. Attributed audience was around 0.03 billion, 1 million, approximately 31,000 people. This was all the billboards were placed across these kind of cities. So this is the kind of summary and a report that we get post a campaign which was executed in out of home locations. Earlier, it was all about photographs. So talking from DOOH point of view, what was the all the sites were installed? So showing some glimpse like different at different location, like then some Hyderabad and different locations, it was installed. This is the photographs of locations, and there's some report that we received, and it was received from Ozone, our proprietary Propososcope's proprietary tool that we use for campaigns planning and reporting. So this was the campaign overall. So if you see overall my plan in the plan campaigns analysis basis, the plan we were expected like 1.146 million eyes on impressions, and as per the actual delivery, we delivered 163 million eyes on impressions overall. Some creative analysis that we did for client to understand what was the key and point of this creative. So, talking about the retargeting phases, the campaign was this is the basically audience persona that client had shared with us before starting of the campaign, like who is our audience, what was the persona of audience in terms of age groups, NCCS, interest level, what kind of keyword generally this kind of audiences that they expect as a their TG search it when they go online. What was their competitions like Creta, Seltos, Kuja kind of, on what kind of genres that they wanted to blacklist before while retargeting to audiences. So we activated campaign on in-app, mobile browsers, and YouTube's. So seeing this page is the summary and glimpse of overall communication campaign that happened. So the billboard were installed across different locations. There were so many people getting exposed to the billboard, and out of overall exposed audience, we identified who were our TG, who are our potential audience. Potential audience basis the segmentation that client had created like this. This was. So all the potential audiences received this kind of communication on their mobile phone. This was the part of their retargeting. And this banner were clickable. So when they clicked on this banner, they redirected to this Nexa's websites. So somehow we help brand to increase footfall on their mobile phone. This is simply an out-of-home campaign, and we're just showing how an out-of-home campaign can also help brand to increase footfall on their website as well as offline stores. So if we plotted campaign across in-app, mobile browsers, and YouTube, so if you see this total CTR on in-app was 2.1 CR percentage something, unique reach impressions and this kind of thing. From uplifting index point of view, it was 151 percentage approximately, and on mobile webs it was 145 uh, percentage overall. YouTube point of view, overall visibility from point of view, if you see like 25%, 50, and what was the viewership percentage. So this they activated two different communication from hybrid and all grips communication. So somehow this, if you see this report, we also we can say very easily like beyond photograph story, we now have some insights on what happened to my campaign, what exactly was the performances. So this is overall three channels, like it's a over day by day basis pe what was the impressions and CTR, how does CTR happen. So if you see this report, so overall CTR was very high on in-app in comparison to mobile browsers and YouTube's. So this is performance impressions versus CTR point of view report. And attributions point of view, this is a part of interest for clients. It was a unique for them also, whenever, since they are regular, they are very regular on out of home space. On daily basis, we were able to tell them what was the footfall happening across different Nexa stores. Like on 14th of October, 15th October, what was the overall attributed footfall? What was the trending time? And like if you see this report, like between 4 to 5 p.m. maximum footfall has happened. Maximum footfall also the attribution was found on Friday. And what was the TAT, like from in-app on mobile browser's point of view, who visited my store when, between 0 day matlab same day, between 0 to 1 days, 1 to 2 3 4, last for 7 days we mapped overall vegetations on attributions. And obviously, generally, what happens, like if anybody gets exposed to my billboard, it's not guaranteed that they will only visit to my store. They will also visit to competition stores. So here we also tell them, like when people were exposed to my billboard, how many people and what was the share of people who visited competition stores, like people who visited Hyundai, Mahindra, Tata, Toyota, Renault, whatever kind of. So Hyundai grabbed maximum footfall attributions. So this is a demographic of audience, like who visited Nexa stores, what are the share between male and female, different age groups. And this is important part, like this can be maybe we utilize as a strategy for future campaigns. People who visited Nexa store after getting exposed to billboard, what was their home location, that pin code. So this pin code delivered maximum vegetation. So these are top 10 pin codes that we identified during the campaign. And what was the from performance point of view, what was the top five, at least top 50 stores, and what was the footfall numbers on overall basis? So if you see the tab, like Mumbai store which attained, this was I think maximum footfall. Second was Delhi, third again Mumbai, Delhi, and last I think fifth store, top fifth was store was Kolkata. So on store basis, we can also tell how many people have visited to which store for you. So this was a unique services and a unique offerings for Maruti that we deliver, and it's a new things. So that's it about this presentation. I'm sure let me know if you have any queries. And
Yeah. Hi, Puneet.
hi.
Hello. So, while these properties will have other advertisers' creatives as well, right? How do you keep in mind the brand safety is assured for the brand you are advertising in that ad space?
So we used Oracle's platform this time, and the third-party DMP data, they are certified with Moat. So Moat helps us ensure that whatever communication brand safety is always been noted. So Moat is the platform in the backend. Sometimes this is also new for us, but I think it's doing fine. Recently, we executed for 2 campaigns, so I think Moat is the ultimate answer for your query. So
Okay. Thank you so much, Puneet.
I think yeah, Anil, I think you have some queries.
Yeah.
Hi,
So,
Puneet.
just wanted to add. Sorry, go on. I will ask question.
Yeah. So, Puneet, you mentioned audience exposed to billboard can be tagged and retargeted, right?
Mhm.
So, doesn't it require you to obtain users' consent?
So we always, being a company like being a Denso, we all are compliant company, and we always do whatever is within the privacy policies only. So it never can saves and considers any personal information. It just gets the general demographic behaviors, nothing else, and the vegetation parts. Nothing personal data is are exchanged.
So just to add to that,
Okay.
Anil, so here it is, they have tie-ups with multiple apps which ask at SDK of DV360s of the world, where they will be able to identify. So when you have the SDK, you will have when you install that app, you will give consent to retarget.
Okay. Thank you.
Generally, you visit to any kind of apps and websites. I mean, website together, we always see a direct communication of the cookies. So it's a simply thing like it always are somewhere whatever we do online, our data are somewhere getting captured. But yes, we are very sure like our personal communication, any personal informations are not shared. So nobody is allowed to share any personal informations.
Just a quick question on the apartments that you have with the where you have programmatic screens installed. What's the approximate number in terms of scale that you have at least in the metro cities? Yeah.
So from society point of view, yes, around 30,000 screens are currently available for programmatic targeting.
Okay, and it's predominantly metro cities, I'm assuming.
Majorly, they are in top 10 cities. Society culture
Okay.
are currently available in top 10.
Okay, and what's the scale of reach through these 30,000 screens approximately? Yeah.
So frankly, this is a very new ecosystem. In fact, we have never explored any campaign so far. But I think they are mostly high-rise societies, and numbers are the third party who are installing screens. We are only preferring screen societies with the higher numbers in the cities. So top 100, top 50 cities kind of. So skills,
Right.
exact numbers I don't have, but I think it should be good numbers.
Okay.
Puneet, I have a follow-up question on location, which is being shared via your apps or the maps, right? What if in case where the ad is exposed, maybe on an airport or on maybe any of the malls, my location on my phone is disabled, right? Is there a scope that we will be able to capture the data point of the consumers who's been in that radiation? And what will be that radius? If we could maybe target it that if anybody within the radius of half kilometer or kilometer needs to be targeted.
So if your location data is off, then you'll not be considered. And maybe two thing is very important. One, internet should be available on your mobile phone. Second, location option. Generally, what happens today's scenario, urban scenarios, that most of our apps with whatever we use, and we are somewhere integrated with the location thing. Whenever we install, example, Amazon in most family applications in urban cities. So it asked me to switch on my location options to integrate it. So most of the apps are somewhere integrated with the locations thing. So if they are installed and locations are integrated, so it is enough. Otherwise, there could be challenges. Second, internet, same with internet. If internet is unavailable, then maybe retargeting cannot be. We cannot identify audience. We need some platform to exchange the communications.
Can we also define the radius?
Radius we can definitely preset depending. So campaign happens in two different type of touch points in out of home space. One outdoor, second is indoor. For outdoor, we always suggest at least the radius should be 200, minimum 200 meters. And for indoor locations, we always allow it should be between 50 to 70 meters, not more than. So we can customize this basis our campaigns every time and site to site even.
Okay, thanks. And one more question. Sorry for that.
No worries.
While we are retargeting via the programmatic, right? Can we drive our traffic towards the retailer platforms, which is you mentioned about Amazon or a Flipkart and do we get those insights that what are the number of traffic we have got it exposed from these DOH campaigns?
Yes, if they allow. If it is permissible, definitely. So it's a retargeting can happen at anywhere if the other destination partner can allow us. So suppose some H&M is doing some campaign, they have integrated some tie-up with Myntra, and they want my all consumers who clicks on my banner, they should be redirected to Myntra store, Myntra platform on H&M part. So Myntra should allow us before getting into campaign.
Okay, fair. Thank you so much.
So Puneet, you had said that you would have a target of around, not a target, a range of around 50 to 60 meters in an indoor space. What kind of indoor space is this?
So indoor spaces are, so obviously, so everything has like all the coins has two sides. So for this also, if you talk about shopping mall, so there's some dilutions. What happened? So indoor spaces like shopping mall is possible, especially, but shopping mall, there are some flaws. What happened? So there are different floors. If there are some stores, my store is on second floor, in the same lat log, on the third floor is, so maybe there's kind of some dilutions in case anybody goes on third floor in the same lat long. So they can also be considered as an audience and vegetation. So indoor, there's some dilutions. Outdoor, it's pure light.
So I have another question. See, we were targeting once or trying to create something for a cinema hall. So at that time we were told कि cinema hall के अंदर तो हम ऐसे target नहीं कर सकते इतनी छोटी सी जगह पर. It will be a 2 kilometer radius, and so it won't be possible to target people in one cinema.
So using polygon, yes, it is possible. Otherwise, challenging होता है. But in this mechanism, we can definitely target cinema halls. But cinema hall में भी क्या होगा, जो मॉल के अंदर में है वहां पर लैट लॉन्ग का इशू होगा, क्योंकि थर्ड फ्लोर, सपोज फिफ्थ फ्लोर पे मेरा सिनेमा हॉल है, ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे सेम लैट लॉन्ग जो होगा, लैट लॉन्ग रिमेन सेम फॉर द डिफरेंट फ्लोर्स, राइट? सो ग्राउंड फ्लोर पे दे कैन आल्सो बी considered as audience. Standalone cinema may it will be very pure, otherwise there could be some dilutions.
Okay, but it is possible is what you're saying.
It definitely possible. Yeah, using the lat long, it is possible.
Thanks.
So it is, I'm sure, the overall presentation that it talks about. So it's all about simply, we are using out of home from all our clients. We are using regularly, but now definitely we using these kind of matrices. We have some different story to talk about from out of home, and so any other query, any suggestions? I see so many digital experts here, so.
This was very interesting, Puneet. Thank you so much. Guys, you guys have got any more questions before we wrap it up? We still have got 9 more minutes.
So Puneet, like, what is the backup plan in case of technical issues happens with the display?
Display like display on
so
screen,
display like it will be on the screen.
On screen, digital screens, right? On out of home.
Yeah.
So technical errors. So simply technical in terms of technical and errors point of view, there's only one error happens, like if the screen somewhere did get disconnected with internet, and obviously if internet is not available, then there could be some dilutions. In fact, screen will not be available for display. So in that terms, frankly, there's no backup. We only have to shift that location to a different location. That's the only option.
All right. And are there any like regulations needs to be followed in digital out of home?
Nothing very specific, but general municipal's guidelines, especially in out of home spaces, to be followed is mandatory. Like in some cities, if you see like Mumbai, there are so many screens are installed in different locations, but unfortunately, very rare, just not even 2% screens allow playing video content. Most of the screens allow play some static communication, maybe some communication with the animations, but pure video communications are not allowed. Screens are in Delhi, they are very friendly with video communications. We can play with that. So we have to follow and keep in mind these kind of guidelines.
Got it. Thank you.
Anything else? Any other queries? Cool, Anil. I think we can wrap up then. I think all the queries are sorted.
Thank you, Puneet.
And good. I hope to see some tractions after this call, and in terms of whenever you are meeting new clients and your
So
existing
please do
clients.
send out that deck which you presented.
I'll do. Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Thanks a lot, Puneet.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Puneet.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Puneet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Puneet.
Thank you.
Thank you, Puneet.
Welcome.